The hearing will come to order. The chair notes the presence of a quorum. Chairman Bishop couldn't be here for the opening of this hearing, but he'll arrive shortly, and rather than delay the hearing, he asked me to take the chair till he arrives. Under the rules, the opening statements are limited to the chairman and ranking member. I'd ask unanimous consent that any other member's opening statements in the hearing be entered in the hearing record if submitted to the clerk by the close of business today. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Without objection, the chair will reserve time for the chairman to make an opening statement when he arrives, and the chair now recognizes the ranking member of the Natural Resources Committee for an opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm really pleased we're here today to hold a hearing on a number of bills important to a number of our colleagues. I just want to mention a few because I think they have particular merit. Representative Jeffries and Meng are both from New York, have bills. We often, when we think of parks, we all think of the iconic parks of the West where I live, but we have a lot of people in our urban areas, and we have a lot of facilities or historic areas that merit park designation. And in particular, Mr. Jeffries has a bill for the National Park Service to evaluate the prison ship Martyrs Monument in Brooklyn. It was erected to honor the 11,500 American prisoners of war lost their lives on British ships during the War of Independence. And today we're contemplating honoring those who participated in a much more recent action, the Desert Storm War Memorial. I think it's fitting we also look to our past and the founding of our nation, and I think it would be appropriate, and hopefully the hearing will show that it's appropriate for that designation. And then Representative Meng's bill authorizes the study of sites associated with the Flushing Remonstrance. Now, I think she's giving us a bit of a history lesson here. Some of us don't remember that, but 17th century appeal for religious liberty that was a precursor to the First Amendment, obviously an incredible, strong underpinning of the liberties we enjoy in this country, and I believe that that also merits a recognition by the Park Service and would be a great educational tool for future generations of Americans, and obviously those in the New York area would have ready access. Mr. Lynch has a bill to extend the Adams Memorial Foundation another 7 years to plan and construct. It's no easy thing, as we've seen with past memorials, and I think a memorial of this magnitude and that historic significance certainly merits some additional time so that we don't go through some of the controversies we've gone through with past memorials to get it right, get the place right, and just a little more time is warranted. And then we have Mr. Welsh, and I know the chairman and others that sometimes are not overly enthusiastic about wild and scenic designations and other designations, but when all of a state's delegation and virtually all local and state elected officials support something, I think there are times when we should set aside whatever concerns we might have on our own and allow those states to move forward with designations that they feel appropriate. And Mr. Welsh has been a particularly persistent advocate for this, which would be the first wild and scenic designation in the state of Vermont, which surprises me. I didn't know that you didn't have any. So I think that also merits favorable consideration. And then finally, I don't believe you'll attend, but we have an Oregon issue that is specific to Representative Walden's district. The Oregon State University Hermiston Agricultural Research and Extension Center had a grant of land from the federal government. The city has grown around it. It's really not an appropriate place to conduct the kind of agricultural research they need to deal with now. In fact, many members of the committee will remember the strange appearance of some genetically modified wheat in a farmer's field in eastern Oregon, which still hasn't been explained. There's a lot of research that needs to be done, and they need to deal with a reversionary clause so they can sell their land, which is no longer appropriate for agricultural use within the city, but immediately apply those proceeds to purchasing agricultural land outside the city, continuing the public purpose to do research, particularly as relates to dry land western farming. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the time, and I hope the committee looks favorably upon these bills and we see them on the floor as suspensions in the not-too-distant future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. McClintock, for starting this